series left.
Yep.
This one against Invictus Gaming, the all-important. They are currently 2 points behind Masters 3 after that last set for the 8th playoff spot. So if they're able to get the 2-0 here, which might be possible because IG look like they are jockeying for some playoff positioning, to be able to get into that 8th spot with only 1 game left.
Yeah, we'll see whether they can do it. This means all sorts of things for other teams like World Elite, all other things on the line here based on the outcome of this game. But Invictus Gaming have looked completely terrifying and not entirely sure whether Insec is going to be back after his leg was broken previously. But Cacao versus Insec, that would be a massive matchup to watch.
Yeah, it certainly would. And if we take a look where Invictus is at the moment, they're equal 5th with LGD. Of course, ahead on the head-to-head. And if they win this 2-0, they will go up to be equal with Vici Gaming, who are, of course, playing in our next game against EDG. So they can move around a little bit. They probably look like they are going to be facing off that 4th and 5th spot with Vici at the moment. If nothing changes too much, they are, of course, 3 points away from each other. So that would be an interesting matchup. And you really do think that a lot of this does have to do with the Cacao matchup. He's shown that he can play up and down on this patch. Be interested to see if Insec is playing today and whether Cacao tries to take it to him as he did last time around, because he really did dominate Insec in this matchup. And across the board, if you take a look at the playoff race, everything is really starting to heat up. This is a business, and people really don't want to play specific people. Looking at EDG at the top of the ladder, they just look so formidable. But Vici Gaming, they're right behind them as well, so I don't actually know what's going to happen.
Well, this is ridiculous because we've had teams sort of sprout out of nowhere with these incredible shutout performances. Vici Gaming is most definitely one of those. Of course, EDG taking them on after this series, but Invictus Gaming as well have sort of looked unstoppable on the Rift along with these top-tier teams. And everyone seems to be wanting to escape EDG, but I'd be wanting to escape IG, VG, everyone at the same time.
Yeah, certainly. It does look like Invictus Gaming have elevated their gameplay at times. They also look horrible some of the times if they can't piece it together. So I'm very interested to see which IG turns up, whether they are looking to build momentum and roll over the top of Starhorn Royal Club. Royal Club really have been another very inconsistent team, where IG has looked more good than bad. Royal Club's probably looked more bad than good this time around. And for that last playoff positioning, of course, WE, out of nowhere, is still in the running. Don't lose sight of that. They are in equal points right now for Royal Club. So if Royal Club can't pick up a win here, that playoff race is so interesting.
Yeah, well, World Elite, of course, only one more matchup to go against Gamty, which is definitely a winnable series for these guys going into this one, and we'll see whether they can actually come through with those 3 points, which would be massively coveted.
Yeah, it certainly would be. The 3 points are what they want. They want to put the pressure onto WE, onto, of course, Masters 3 down the bottom of that board to see if they can get in the driver's seat. It's all about building momentum at this time of the year, and honestly, everything is on the line.
It is, and we'll see whether Starhorn Royal Club can come out all guns blazing. Of course, we had Name join the lineup. There was a lot of hype, but not really a whole lot to show for it just yet. The first couple of performances were okay, but he has been lackluster based on that. And we'll go through the IG lineup here first. Zatai's been trying out some new things there in the top lane. The back-to-back Shen games were interesting, and then Trundle Vladimir.
Yeah, he certainly pulled out the Shen, and it looked impressive. Surprised to see him go away from it. And the Gragas is another pickup here. Cacao played Gragas, extremely aggressive in the early game. I love the pickup. Didn't do so well in the Sejuani, and then Italy unfortunately fell apart.
Yeah, well, actually, I believe, didn't they pick up their victory on the Nidalee with... No, that wasn't. That was a completely different game, ladies and gentlemen. Rookie, though, did have a fantastic game on Azir despite the fact that they lost, and Kid has been picking up the Callista yet again and having mixed results.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I don't know how Callista does in the League of Tanks. I'm not a fan personally, and we go across to Kiddies. The Thresh is the one that stands out there. Thresh Janna will be such a contested pick in this series. You go against Zero, and you do not want to give him either of those champions. Expect to be one to be banned, probably the Janna, and expect Thresh to be picked away first by IG, who will be on the blue side.
Yeah, and Zero, of course, just not going to be getting that Thresh. That guy's ridiculously powerful in that champion. It's been almost permanently banned against him. thus far in the LPL, but we'll see what happens.
Well, it was banned before he was playing with Name, and now Name is so comfortable on Jinx that they've just shown the Jinx-Thresh matchup is so good. They layer the CC with the Chompers, with the Flay into the death sentence, and it's something ridiculous like 5.5 seconds of CC that comes through there. So I don't expect them to be able to get that lane matchup, because particularly in 2v1s, which we've seen still be extremely popular in China, it is just too punishing to send a top laner into that matchup.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen as well, confirmed that Insect not going to be playing this game. We're going to have Blank in that jungle role this time around. We will go over the Royal Club lineup very, very soon. But it is a little bit of a shame that we're not going to be seeing Insect.
Yeah, it certainly is. Not getting to see the KT junglers head off against each other, of course, Kakao versus Insect. But we will get to see Kola. Godlike has been absent from the roster after a couple of weeks of play. Wasn't too impressive. The Jax came out from Kola. Love that pickup. You see the Hecarim in there as well. And Blank, he's had 4 games on the Rift now. Little bit more of a old school jungler, going back to the Jarvan, really sticking away from these 5.6 jungles.
Yeah, and Korn having a very different performance as well. Korn more than happy to pick up the new champions here as well. And Dade's had that Rise band away from him a whole lot, but Cole has managed to pick that one up. And there's Name on your screen as well, gone back to the Lucian, which he was favoring around Worlds time, but most of his success has been on those hyper carries.
Yeah, it certainly has, although he had a fantastic Lucian game. Look for him to spend his gold so efficiently. You throw in Zero, the supporterless, Thresh, of course, being there as well. And I'm really interested to see how Royal Club do in this matchup, because Name, he's looked like he is a man on a mission, single-handedly trying to pull an insectless lineup through to a playoff positioning. And it's a tough ask, but if anyone can do it, it's probably going to be Name. And Korn's looked to be more of a supportive role this time around, playing a lot better.
Yeah, well, this is exactly right. And what we've been talking about is the fact that this is a team that's used to sitting behind Uzi, of course, before this LPL season. Now they've got Name there, but they had a whole lot of practice without him. Korn and Kola had some brilliant carry performances early in the season that really helped skyrocket them forward. So Name coming onto the lineup, he has been doing the best that he possibly can, but it hasn't necessarily been enough, and we'll see whether he's really going to be getting everything together here to try and get this team into the playoffs, which is a place where Name is very used to being.
Yeah, exactly right. I think that Name, this time around, going up against the Kid and Kitty's lane, or maybe even as a tie if they do 2v1, will look to have a better game. Korn is the player that I think we need to watch, because he had 2 very good performances. The Rise stood out to me, but he's going against Rookie. And Rookie has shown, if nothing else, during the laning phase, he is probably at the top of the LPL game right now.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And the percentage of the actual AD carry in the right role is definitely 100% in favor of Invictus Gaming. Unfortunately, AD carry role not quite as consistent here for Starhole and Royal Club coming through. We'll see what happens when we do get to Champion Select and see exactly where these teams are going to be aiming as far as building their draft as well. Because do IG just want to go straight into a, okay, they're going to probably go for a late game hyper carry type role. Are we just going to steamroll the early game? Yeah,
I think that IG are just trying to get things away from Zero and facilitate Kakao. He's going to look to get busy against Blank in the jungle. Kakao, an extremely aggressive jungler when he wants to be. Look for him to pick up something like the Nidalee, like the Gragas, and then just try and evade. Team up with Rookie. Wouldn't be surprised to even see maybe a TF pickup come through and just try and dominate the earlier part of the Rift.
Well, as you said, junglers have actually been banned away here just a little bit. Rek'Sai being taken away from Blank. We do have the Sejuani ban from Kakao. A bit of a respect ban there. He had some brilliant Glacial Prisons in his last Sejuani match.
Just wasn't enough to get him over the line, though. They did have some good team fights. That was, of course, teamed up with the Azir coming through from Rookie. We also see Maokai and LeBlanc being taken off the Rift. A lot of respect to Rookie here.
And interesting that the Maokai ban coming through. Of course, Kola, more of that sort of Gnar player if he wants to get on one of those big tanks. But Nautilus going to be taken off the board. It does leave Rookie's Ahri available. Zatai hovering over a Riven here. We'll see what he does decide to lock in for this first pick for Invictus Gaming. But that does leave the Thresh open. They
Janna
could potentially
also
grab
open.
it.
There's just so many power picks available for Royal Club in that bottom lane. And that's exactly where I thought IG would hit. Try and hit the bottom lane so that they don't have to put any jungle pressure there and then dominate the top side of the map, which is just what Kakao and Rookie are famous for. But looks like they're going something completely different this time around. Maybe Zatai just wants to play Riven.
Maybe he just wants to play Riven, or maybe they're just hovering something here as it's the last second switch over to the Gragas, and you have to think that that's probably going to be in the jungle here for Kakao.
Yeah, probably the Grungle coming through there for Kakao. We've seen him play it to very good effect. And I want to see what Blank runs in response here, because if anything, Kakao's shown that he wants to get in your face as a jungle Gragas. The surprising amount of burst damage that comes through from W early game just makes him a terrifying. He's sustained by going around the map with that body slam, of course, utilizing the passive to keep himself topped off, and just so much CC in the kit.
Yeah, and we've seen these Gragas jungles be very successful in the past. This Kennen pickup is interesting without possibly taking away that Janna, because of course that Monsoon is generally a pretty good tool to get rid of the guy, but he is going to be picked up.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Zero right now, and I'm thinking, has he got it in his back pocket, the support Kennen?
Oh my
that could come through. Is this something that Royal Club are looking to pull out against IG, of course, with a Gragas as well as a Janna pickup potentially available on the other lineup? Very brave pickup coming through from Royal Club here with so much on the line, but it looks like that's what they're committing to.
Looks like it, as it's going to be the Gnar locked in here for Zatai. More of a pick away from Kohli, you have to think, as Kakao's going to take away the Kalista here for Kid. Kid having a lot of Kalista games in his match history thus far. More than happy to hop back onto that comfort pickup. And Royal Club, it's their turn to sort of round out their lineup now, and we'll see whether it could potentially be that support Kennen. Yeah,
I want to see if that is what's coming through. Of course, they know the top lane matchup now is the Gnar, so they can send it there. And Name just insta-locks in a Vayne.
Is this actually Uzi, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in the Starhorn Royal Club lineup? Because, of course, that is generally where he used to be sitting, but no, it is going to be Name picking up the Vayne here. You can see he's got a bit of a determined look in his eye as he's heading into the rift onto that champion.
Yeah, he certainly does, and we also see the Sion picked up, so that is most likely the top lane matchup, although we've seen crazy mid lane Sions. We've even seen a couple of jungles. So we'll see exactly where that is. You would think that it's a jungle Jarvan top lane Sion, maybe mid Kennen, although most likely in support. And we see that is the Janna as well as the Lissandra being hovered here. Would be surprised to see that. Makes a lot more sense to have the Azir there. So much zone control coming out of the IG lineup right now. They control all terrain.
Yeah, all terrain, and they can move people around if they want to, and having so much consistent damage here as well, what with Kalista and an Azir on the team, that is terrifying.
Yeah, it certainly is. As far as two threats lineups goes, probably one of the most consistent DPS threats on the map there, of course. Also doing some surprising burst damage late game is Azir with that Emperor's Divide coming through. So see how Rookie plays that. He's played it terrifically. And it looks like it's going to be a potential Ahri pickup here for Korn. Of course, very good at the Assassins in the mid lane. Ryze is still available, and we've seen scaling threats be run into. Vladimir also a scaling threat.
Oh, yeah.
Be run into it. And it is the Vladimir going into the mid lane.
Yeah, Korn picking that one up here against the Azir. We'll see how he's going to do, as Royal Club going to mix things up. And Kola, he is hovering the Kennen, but I think that's going to be switched over, and it's going to be an exciting matchup. We'll see exactly how this one goes, because I personally have not yet seen the support Kennen.
Yeah, of course, Mata pulled it out, I believe, in the LPL, and it is a definitely interesting pick. Does a lot of harass in lane, of course, has that pretty much on-demand stun with the Lightning Rush into the auto attack as well as the W. So we'll see exactly how it works out. But Royal Club, they've got a very tanky scaling lineup.
Certainly do, especially considering this top lane Kola against a very familiar Gnar here with the Scion. And Kakao against Blank on the Jarvan, of course, has played a lot of that Jarvan since joining the lineup here. And Kakao, his couple of Gragas games were terrifying.
Yeah, they certainly were. And we go into the mid lane. The two late game hyper carries, Vladimir versus Azir. We also see two very mobile AD carries coming onto the rift for Kid and Name in the Kalista versus the Vayne. And we'll round out the compositions with some heavy engage versus some heavy disengage. Zero versus Kitties. This should be fun to watch.
Yeah, and this is sort of the classic, like, okay, we have to pick Janna here, because that Kennen was just going to be a complete menace. And having that in the 2v2, if they are deciding to go with that, is definitely something that they're going to need. And we'll see whether a lane swap is going to be instigated. Do you think that this is lane swap territory here?
Yeah, definitely think it's lane swap territory for both teams. there's just so much risk running hyper carries into standard lanes at the moment. If anything goes wrong, they get way too far behind, so expect that to go through.
Well, we'll see whether it does happen as we hop onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for our third matchup of the evening. Invictus Gaming taking on Starhorn Royal Club. Starhorn Royal Club trying to keep their playoff dreams alive. There's Cacao waiting beside this brush, looking to see what's going to go on. As I'm going to have a slight pause in this one, just to see exactly what's going on as we move on to the Rift.
Yeah, just take a look at Cacao. Very focused there.
There's normally grinning. There's normally that cacackle happening. Not this game. He's grungling.
Certainly is. And my God, he looks mad at someone.
Maybe someone stopped his game. I mean, I guess that has actually happened here. But of course, these teams looking for
and
more
then
of
he yawned. Maybe he was just tired all along, Atlas.
Maybe. You can see already, actually, fairly sort of defensive starts here. No teams grouping up to go for that early vision to scout out these lane swaps.
Yeah, there isn't so far. Only one interesting item pickup for me here. It is, of course, the Doran shield on the Vladimir in the mid lane before we went into the break. That's very interesting. There's a cannon with a ruby crystal.
Interesting.
I don't mind that because getting an early sightstone pretty much is a GP10. And the more health he has, the easier it will be for him to initiate. So I do like the pickup there.
If you were going to be a cannon picking up a sort of gold generation item, what would that be? Spell Thieves would be the obvious choice?
No, I actually think the reason... Spell Thieves in lane, yes, obvious choice, but with cannon, you want that speed up. You want the talisman for the late game. So I think that's why it has... Wow, as Nami gets chunked out. Nami, sorry.
Yeah, Nami... Not actually in this game, thank goodness.
The player, not the champion.
Yeah, and Zero just plays too much Nami. I swear to goodness. Just frustrating as actually IG looking to try and stop this back here as well. Nami not going to be able to head back very quickly as IG now going to be able to get some deep vision down as well. Possibly scout out a potential lane swap as Nami is going to finally be able to go home.
Yeah, so a lot of deep wards went through and there was nothing retaliating on the side of Starhorn Royal Club. So they are completely blind as to where the lanes are going. On the other side, IG, they know exactly where the members are going to be as we see the pings coming out in the top lane already. We will get the lane swap through, though.
Yeah, it is going to be the lane swap here for Royal Club. Minions are going to be followed as Name's going to pick up a cheeky 10 gold.
Straight away, as soon as IG saw Name go for that little bit of the Wraith, they straight away just ran up to the top lane.
Yep.
Sentinel down.
Sentinel worked. Sentinel certainly worked here for IG, spotting out the members of Royal Club, but Cola, he's going to die. Of course, thank goodness we're not playing Fantasy LPL because Cola, playing this champion, not going to be helping you out very much there. I feel like that joke has definitely been overdone. There's the potential freeze to come through here, as we did have Name entering this lane first, but not deciding to go for it as there's a bunch of creeps up here in the top side.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's already pushing it. They straight away saw the teleport come through, and it's so important to push for level 2. You do not want to get level 2'd by Kid and Kitties. Of course, with the CC that can come out of Janna, plus the Eye of the Storm Shield, just so much damage. So that's what they went for straight away. And you see already the zoning coming through here from Zero. He's only level 1, but he's more than happy with that range support to try and put down some pain.
Yeah, and he's hitting all of these shurikens as well. Zero very comfortable on this support cannon. That Lightning Surge really doing some work here as well as Zatai and Cola. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, Zatai going to be frustrating on this mini now, but Cola going to be almost unkillable on this Scion.
Yeah, he certainly is. And the thing about Scion is he can just shrug off so much with the shield, with the fact that he gets the luxury first item in that flask. And straight away, we've seen this matchup before from Rookie. I think it was against Dade, and he took the minute at 12, mid-turret at 12 minutes. And then we saw it again, and he did the exact same thing. So expect him to be super aggressive with the lane swap coming through. Probably going to be no jungle pressure towards that mid lane. And we've seen in the 1v1 situation, he is just way too good at the moment.
And actually the push in here for Royal Club, they have sent Name right back again. Picked up a longsword for himself. As Kid's going to take as long as he possibly can pushing this wave back. You can see it is returning, and Zero happy to stick around, pick up some CS, and also just a bit more of that experience as well.
Yeah, maybe just recognizing the fact that with the Janna Shield, they can't trade as well, so they needed the pots, I think, more than the longsword. So that's what all that back was about. As we see Cacaw's first gank in here onto Cola.
Yeah, looking for Cola here. Flashes out of the way of the body slam. But that is definitely summon a spell down. Cacao, very early successful gank.
Yeah, Cacao just happy to trade it. Generally, you can flash at the end of your body slam. Still probably could have made that one connect if he wanted, but in the end, just takes the flash for the first successful gank.
Yep, no problem at all. Rookie continuing to push out this wave as Name making it back to lane, able to just pick up the farm as it crashes against the turret here, continuing to have a slight advantage there in that farm. Corn just doing his best to clear out this wave as Rookie is just going to try and harass him down again and again. And this is what you got to do. Keep the Vladimir down before he hits that level 9, before he has all of the points in his queue so that he has just so much sustain.
Yeah, and the fact that Rookie has taken an aggressive summoner spell, he has that ignite here. Of course, late game fantastic against the Vladimir. But with how stacked that minion wave is, if Blank had to come in for the gank, there was a very real potential that he would turn it around with the creeps that he had. And you can see already, this is Zia versus Vladimir matchup. They keep picking it against him, and he keeps doing work.
Yeah, it's very similar to the old Annie into Na matchup that we've seen. Yes,
we don't talk about that anymore. That was horrible.
Sorry, Looper.
The poor guy's not even in the game. We're talking about Dade. Looper didn't lose the Vladimir matchup.
No, he wasn't playing Annie that game. It was fine. Absolutely fine. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Name able to free farm this one. Zero still with complete control. His lane presence is fantastic, is holding onto that auto attack just to make sure that he can get that extra mark of the storm on his target.
Look how relaxed Kid looks on the player cam. Almost looks like he's playing with one hand.
Yeah, it's just chilling.
Missing 3 CS. Put the second hand on the keyboard.
Yep. There it is, condemned against the wall there as well, just to make sure the Kid doesn't have too easy time farming under this wave. And Blank, he's at half health, hanging out here just to try and get some potential counter gank as Cacao is making his way up here as well. He's going to take away that Rift Scuttler there and head towards this top side. They do have vision here in this brush. And we'll see whether Blank can turn this one around. Oh, gets the double knock up there as well as the Ignite comes down. Cacao getting instantly bursted and Name picks up first blood. Kid now in a bit of trouble, but he's going to get out of there as well. And Blank, what fantastic counter gank timing.
And that was just such a bad gank coming through from Cacao, willing to burn a summoner spell to get in. It looked like it was all going right with the amount of burst damage that come through, but there are so many summoner spells available on the opposition lineup, and just an overextension means that first blood goes through for Royal Club.
Yeah, and for Name here as well, on the vein of all champions. Not exactly what you want to get first blood if you are an IG fan, as Korn continues to try and farm under this turret, but he's doing a whole lot better now that he has that revolver picked up, and Cola has his shield broken, but he's going to be A-okay as Mega now comes through for Zatai.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're just farming down there. Looks like Cola has that early advantage just because of the gank that came through. Sorry. Zatai has the early advantage because of the gank that came through onto Cola, but in the top lane, 8 CS the advantage. It's not a lot, but when you think about the fact that this is a Kennen Vayne lane.
Yeah.
Probably not designed to win. Probably not designed to win the lane. It's just going to mean all kinds of bad things if they're able to keep this advantage. Remember that Name was actually forced back to pick up additional potions extremely early in the game, and he's got a unique build, I'll call it, Atlas.
Yeah, it's
looks
very
like
strange.
He's going into the Cutlass, but doesn't value the added AD that you get from the Combine. I actually think you only get the active damage from the Combine, so it's really not worth the gold at this point in the game. Prioritizing some attack speed instead.
Yeah, I never judge Name on his item builds because the way he purchases items is just so impressive.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's probably the most efficient spender of gold. If you want to go thrift shopping, you would probably take Name with you because he's pretty good at getting bang for buck out of items.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it does go entering this lane. Of course, BF Sword was completed here by Kid, probably opting to pick up that Bloodthirster first off. We'll see whether he does want to go for that Hurricane as well, whether it's going to be that more Phantom Dancer orientated build.
Phantom Dancer is just so good at the moment that I don't know how you look past it as an AD. In the late game, it's just unparalleled. Static Shiv, it's still a fine pickup if you have the gold for it. But late game, you really do want to be swapping out for that Phantom Dancer. And the Hurricane build just doesn't prioritize any crits, so it doesn't make sense in the current meta. Although we have seen players continually go back to it.
We have. The last few Callistas that we have seen, of course, the AoE is definitely still fantastic, so there's no loss in synergy there. But the tank bust ability, as you mentioned, not exactly able without that crit available.
Yeah, nearly 10 minutes into the game, so look how deep Rookie is going in on this turret. It's half health. He's just sent the Vladimir back. We might have another sub 12-minute turret takedown in the mid lane from Rookie on his ear.
It might be close to sub 10 minutes here as well, of course, only with a quarter health left. No mid laner available, and Rookie's just slamming at this thing. No one around at all. Jarvan's back in base as well. 3 caster creeps. This could be a dead turret at 10 minutes.
Certainly looks to be the case, and once again, Rookie, his laning phase, Atlas, is out of control at the moment. This is... People are going to have to start figuring out what to do against this Azir because he just continues to push and acts like there's no jungler on the map.
Well, there hasn't been in the mid lane. Of course, you did mention that Blank had an opportunity to potentially gank this one, but not happening. Zero actually taking a lot of harassment here on the top side as Kid's going to get condemned back. Zero has to be careful.
But that's a 20 CS advantage for Name in that lane on a Vayne with the kill.
Ridiculous.
Completely nuts that they're able to win that lane. And Rookie, he's actually put a Sun turret up and behind Vlad.
Yeah, now Korn is actually dirty farming between his own turret and the enemy's turret. That is a very confusing
That is a
thing.
cheeky move.
Yeah, and you can see Korn just has no idea what to really do at the moment. As actually, there's the flashback, and Dragon immediately getting the flashes. Oh, the Empress Divide, so beautiful as Cacao comes through the backside. There's the turret as well as Rookie's going to pick up the kill. Korn finds himself in no man's land, but does pick up Rookie. See whether the 1v1 is going to be on here, as the Vladimir does have a lot of consistent damage. Cacao's just relentlessly beating on this Vladimir, though, as the support does come down from the top side. Korn's going to be okay, and in the end, it's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, and a very good rotation as well.
Whoa.
Kitties gets chunked out.
Oh, actually, Zero coming through here. Just try and get the stun. Oh, my goodness. There's the tick as he walks in range of it, and Name. Wow, that Pierce did so much work from Kid.
And that quality of life changes. Cacao pings that he's coming into the top lane. I don't think that's a good idea, so he'll just recall. And the top lane for Royal Club, their duo AD and support just putting on such a clinic. You see it was the early sidestone, and it just made Kennen so tanky they couldn't deal with him.
Yeah, he looks so healthy in this lane as well, as you mentioned, so unable to really do anything. Randuin's Omen already completed here by Zatai into Kola, who only has the Giant Spell finished up, is heading back. We'll see what he does pick up, as it is going to be the Glacial Shroud, trying to pick up as many resistances as he possibly can. Korn does have a Negatron Cloak now, so he's going to be able to withstand the poke coming through from Rookie a little bit better. But the main purchase here is Name having a 12-minute Blade of the Ruin King.
Yeah, it certainly does. So he is ready to go into split push mode. They're sending him back into the bottom lane. Kennen already clearing out the vision around Dragon. You think with that pickup, they might be ready to start trying to take some neutral objectives.
Yeah, Rookie still with firm control of this mid lane. Does spot out the fact that there's a pink ward hanging out there, but he can't overextend too far. He's just going to continue clearing the mid. Yeah, this has been his MO.
If we take a look at the gold, 700 still the advantage for IG. They're winning mid, they're winning top. They were able to pick up that early mid turret. Royal Club, a lot of their gold on their bottom lane members, although Korn was lucky to pick up that kill in the exchange. So whilst he's down 27 CS, comparable to other lanes, still very strong. No one at this point, however, can go anywhere near Rookie. He's got 2 levels on Name, which is probably the turning point there. And he's extremely fit to fight at this point in the game.
It looks like Royal Club, a lot of pressure on this bottom side. Callista still not down there just yet. Silverbolts is going to be helpful as far as these neutral objectives are concerned, as Blank actually getting invaded here on his blue buff. Rookie and Cacao hanging around. The Wolves are being taken here by Korn in the meantime, as the Sand Soldiers are being a menace. And there's the Flag and Drag. Rookie actually getting cataclysmed here as well. There's the Empress Divide. Gets rid of everyone. They have to walk all the way around, but Zero's come in. Kola looking for the knock-up as Cacao has a drink to try and heal himself back up. Zatai hanging in the backside, but he's not the tanky monster that he wants to be. In the meantime, though, Name from the back, and Rookie so incredibly low. Pulls there as well as Korn trying to get some work done. Kitty's getting ignored, but finally gets turned around upon. Look at these Sand Soldiers tearing apart the members of Royal Club, but it's not enough as Kitty's falls down. It's a 3-for-1 for Royal Club.
And an extremely deep invade goes horribly wrong. Kakao just playing over-aggressive, but it was all about the fact that Zatai just didn't go into Mega Gnar for that team fight. Was completely useless, was ineffective.
Really do much. And I think he was expecting to be Mega Gnar at some point in that fight and then just wasn't really there. A little bit unfortunate. We'll see whether IG can claw their way back. Of course, Rookie's still incredibly strong. Massive lead in this farm. And Royal Club now with an opportunity to pick up this dragon.
Yeah, so they're moving it, of course. The Blade of the Ruined King Vayne, she'll chunk that one out. Doesn't even need the jungler there. So they pick up the first dragon of the game. And they've snuck a gold advantage without taking a turret. So that's fantastic news. Bottom lane is 2-0 and 2 apiece. This Kennen Vayne. Apparently strong duo.
Yeah, it's not working out too badly, as Zero's actually picked up an arm guard and mobility boots.
Yeah, so apparently...
Is he going into farm mode now?
Apparently late game, Kennen doesn't want to go that talisman, not going for the move speed initiation build that we've seen become so popular on the likes of maybe Nautilus support, but instead just going into a very AP heavy centric build.
It's almost like he feels like he's a top lane Kennen in a lane swap at the moment.
Well, we have seen Zero pick up the Aurelia support,
yep.
I believe. Now we're seeing him on the Kennen support. Maybe you're right. Maybe he just has missed a calling in life.
Or maybe he's just going for a smooth transition into a role swap. He's like, okay, guys, I'd prefer to be a top laner, but I just want to make the transition slowly, carefully. I'll stay in the bottom lane. Yeah, I'll stay in the bottom lane, but I'm just going to play top lane champions. It's going to be fun. Not entirely sure whether that's exactly going to be working out, but for Zero, certainly has this game 2-0 and 2 now. Same as Name. This duo definitely working. And Kid and Kitties, they can't come anywhere near this minion wave.
Yeah, they certainly can't. And what that means is that the minion discrepancy only going to grow here. No way that they can fight in the 2-on-2 at this point. They are going for the Hurricane build as well against what will be a very tanky Jarvan Scion late game. Don't know if that is the right pickup coming through there. And you see a lot of the...
Oh my goodness, Hemoplague's going to be used here as Korn does manage to bait out the ultimate, but he pops a summoner spell just to run at the face of Rookie.
Yeah, ultimate's been popped from Scion as well.
Yeah, actually, Kohler going to get knocked into the wall there as well. Is Zatai going to launch himself over that one? Actually, that's the flash into the ultimate there as well from Zatai. Kohler going down incredibly low here. Both of these tanky beasts trying to fight him, and they can tank this turret for so long. That Randy and Zoman doing a whole lot of work, and I didn't quite think that that was going to work, but did great things there for IG as Kid now in a lot of trouble. The Fate's Call to come through, but Zero's just going to destroy Kid. It's 3-0-2 now for the Kennen.
Yeah, so Kennen putting on an absolute clinic. 0-2-6 for Blank as well. Definitely need to give him a shout out as a first turret falls for Royal Club. That means 1,000 gold is the lead. Probably the first significant lead of the game coming through. And 3-7, a lot of pressure is being applied throughout this map. Looks like they're trying to respond with a top lane turret coming through from Zatai, but they have rotated Korn into that top lane to be able to clear that out.
Yeah, Name just playing this Vayne so beautifully well here at the same time. And he is one of these AD carries that isn't necessarily a laning AD carry as well. He's known for teamfight positioning, but so far in the lane, it's been incredible.
Yeah, certainly has looked to be on point, and it's through the hard part of the game. Now picked up some crit and some further attack speed, so he's going to be completely fine. If we go through the other items, we see that it looks like Kakao has just completely bypassed the second sight zone on his team, so not looking to get any vision down, wants to be combat stat efficient, as opposed to Blank, who's using a lot of his assist gold to try and get some further vision down for his team. In the mid lane, that Stinger has been picked up by Rookie, so he's at a very smooth mid-game spike with just those two items. Has elected for the Sork boots, so not really respecting the CC that will come out of Kennen. Doesn't want to pick up Mercury treads.
Interesting. Probably thinks that he'll be able to use that Emperor's Divide in order to get them out of there. Of course, with the Emperor's Divide and the Gnar and the Explosive Cask and the Monsoon, it's probably okay without him.
Yeah, they've got some tools to be able to do it, but the danger with Kennen and his ultimate is the fact that now that you can activate W as soon as you are within that Slicing Maelstrom, that you can just get stunned up so incredibly quickly that it might not be the Kennen that kills him.
Well, that's true. And of course, Cannon, with the Slicing Maelstrom, is a pretty fantastic peel at the same time. If everyone's trying to jump onto Name, is Kakao looking to try and take down Kohler as they're zoning him off this turret. IG are going to be able to take that one down as well, but it is a trade, of course. And Korn still having to deal with this Azir in the mid lane, who's just being a menace now. 50 CS in the lead, but Royal Club, they're not stopping. They're going to be able to take this inner turret. Zatai doing the very best that he can, but of course he's only got tank items. That Spectre's Cow there as well. Not going to be helping with the damage, but as the creeps died, is going to be okay as Mega Narform coming through. There's the launch as Blank going to have to use the Flag and Dragon in order to get out. Zatai picks up his house.
Yeah, also
not going to find anything else. Oh my goodness, Korn forced to use that flash. There are the Sand Soldiers and the Emperor's Divide to push him back. Hasn't used the pull just yet, but that wasn't going to save him. And IG, they pick up an easy mid laner in transition.
Yeah, and Rookie really is the shining light for IG. We talked about how the Gragas jungle had looked great coming out of Kakao, but not really having the best of games. Rookie, he's in a class of his own at the moment in the mid lane. Throw in Pawn actually there. It may be cool as well for some good flavor. There's a couple of good mid laners.
You're not quite ready to
in
make
the
that call.
LPL. Not ready to make that one. I makes about wow as Kakao gets caught out by 0, but we'll be able to pick up the blue buff still.
I'm surprised that this support cannon didn't manage to out damage and pick up that blue buff.
Well, Smite is a very useful skill.
I know.
Securing
just Zero just
objectives.
seems to be able to do things that I don't understand this game. Okay. Seems to be how it's working, but of course it doesn't happen that time as Name is going to continue clearing out this mid wave. Kid has managed to claw back a little bit. Name was really streaming ahead in that farm, but now only ahead by about 30 CS, which is still about the same as it was a few minutes ago. And the Dragons, second one of the game, going to be started up for Royal Club, who are looking like a completely different team this game.
Well, remember, they did win their last series 2-0 as well, so picking up exactly where they left off in that regard.
That's a good point.
Are looking very good, and we've got 2 needlessly large rods and 2 amp tones, Atlas. A wise man would probably think that that would be 2 Zhonya's Hourglass. An optimistic colorcaster would think 2 Luden's Echoes.
Optimistic, really? Is that? No, I think it is 2 Luden's Echoes, that item. Just too much fun. Dang it, Earth mode. Ruining everything. Seems to be the only item in the shop.
So we do have a little bit of a lull in the map. If we revisit exactly where we are in this game, the Vayne snuck out to a very early lead, being able to keep that 20 CS exactly where it is. Top laners, they're pretty much equal at this point. Of course, Kohler, he's died once to Champions and once to the Wolf Camp.
That is true. Wolf Camp, very formidable.
Coming through there, and across the board it really does look like they're just trying to ramp up. Gold is completely even. Dragon count in favor of Starhorn Royal Club. Next one's about 4 minutes away at this point. Baron not even objective at the moment. No one's going to be looking at it.
And as far as that Baron is concerned, you've got Vayne, Silver Bolts, massive Baron damage with that Blade of the Ruined King as well, but Kalista, the sort of Baron secure queen, both of these teams with a lot of neutral damage. Who wins, though, as far as the speed of taking that Baron is concerned?
Azir is the quickest Baron taker in the game.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a good question, but...
No, so it's a fantastic question. Azir comes through and just absolutely decimates neutrals with 3 Sand Soldiers coming through. Late game build, all that AP doing the on-hit. Of course, Baron just so much better against auto attacks than he is against magic damage, because magic damage is just not supposed to come out as quick as Azir throws it.
Yeah.
So he is in a much better position. Probably the fact that we've got Zatai in some trouble.
Zatai's in a whole lot of trouble here as well. Does flash out of the way of the ultimate there and bounces out of the Cataclysm, and Zatai, he wasn't in trouble. He was absolutely fine.
Yeah, so he was able to grab 2 ultimates for his work there, but it does look like they'll be able to push in on this turret now. Name looking to get extremely busy around the map. Now does back away because the rotation's coming through from everyone, and it is a good question because you feel if IG start off the Baron with the Kalista, they take it extremely quickly and secure. Starhorn Royal Club still do it very well, and it's always dangerous to jump in a Baron pit against a cannon because of the lockdown CC, as now Rookie in some trouble.
Actually, Rookie tries to use the Emperor's Divide to get away. The Ignite's ticking down. Is it going to be enough? The last tick not going to get there as the slow from the Q comes through as well. Zero, he really wants to pick up this kill. Is he going to land the Q? Doesn't find it. Kitties gets the shield. Zero now getting turned around. And this is a support cannon who gets exhausted but picks up the kill. And he's going to fall down. But mid laner for support definitely going to work out in Royal Club's favor. And they've got their push on in the mid lane.
Definitely not in Royals Club favor unless they pick up this turret, because it was actually the Azir that got the kill. And giving a kill over to an Azir versus a support cannon, I know which one I would prefer every day of the week. The Azir just going to scale so well into the late game.
And I guess it's not exactly that point of the game where you've got that one person dead and you can capitalize on it. It's you've got that one person dead and then you try to look for a dragon that's dead and this tower, we don't have enough minions and that sort of situation. So, of course, yeah, I guess getting a kill under the Azir pretty good.
Yeah, so definitely good. They also were able to get a couple of summoner spells out of Zero, which means he's engaged potential at this point of the game where Cannon should be shining. Won't be there without that flash to come through. So just a couple of things on Royals Club's way. Of course, the Azir also going to be extremely immobile now that the flash is down, as we see Zatai throw a boomerang south for some reason.
Oh, he just likes it. Gonna catch it though, turn really big here at the same time. Kid sitting on that recurve bow for quite some time now, has a pickaxe as well. It's almost like he's in two minds for going for this Hurricane. Is Name gonna head away from this bottom side? Rookie clearing out some vision here as well. They're gonna steal away the blue buff.
Again, this is the third contest in a row. First one went horribly wrong. Last two, they've been able to pick up. First one onto Cacao, now one onto Rookie.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Of course, Dragon up in another minute and a half. Scuttle Crab almost going to give IG vision of when that one does respawn.
Oh, and it was a Zhonya's Hourglass for both mid laners.
Oh, dear. And for the support, which we, I guess, knew because Armguard's
he
not
started with an Armguard.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunate. But, of course, there is still room in the item build spawn. There might be a Luden's Echo coming. You never know. There's another house going to get thrown here by Zatai. He's pushing towards this turret. We'll see whether he gets any free time with it as Royal Club are positioning around this dragon now, trying to get the vision available. They will have 3 dragons to none if they pick up the next one in 50 seconds. And we'll see how they do in these team fights because, of course, Rookie has shown that he can really tear these ones apart. And IG's teamfight comp is terrifying. But Royal Club still have the scaling advantage. We'll see whether this Vayne being so far ahead is going to help them out, as Zatai is going to be able to take down the top lane out of turret, and he's going to keep pushing.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Rookie does to maps. He just draws so much attention towards him. He's just building this CS advantage. Now up to 40. You've seen that they had the big ganking roam squad trying to catch him out, and he just farms so effectively that in the end, you kind of focus him and lose sight of the other members of IG. It leads to a lot of map pressure being applied, and in the end, now a 2,000 gold advantage being picked up with that top turret in the top turret in the top lane.
Who would have thought? No, Zatai heading back towards that top side as well. Of course, Kohler and Zatai both with their teleports available.
Both can stop the other teleport after a very long time as well. Although Zatai, if he, Kohler, if he just ults at him, we'll be able to knock him up very quickly.
That's true. Decimating Smash would work, I believe, but you'd probably have to charge it pretty quick.
Yeah. Have to charge that one in. And third dragon is start off. Teleport coming through first for Zatai. So now the Scion's coming in here. He's got a good flank positioning. They're split up here. Need to be careful.
Yeah, they're looking for something. This Zhonya's Hourglass Cannon looking to try and initiate something up here as well, as Name's going to condemn Cacao out of the way, and they don't manage to get the Dragon Steal as well. There's the jump into the backside as Name is the focus here by Zatai. Naza, everyone else into the wall, but this Vayne is doing some work on that backside, but look at all of this AoE. IG tearing Royal Club apart. Finally, Name gets some focus, and Rookie just destroys him. IG in a team fight looking so good. Decimating Smash should be renamed as Kohler does nothing to the IG lineup. And man, 5-0.
Yeah, what a team fight coming out of IG. They might even be able to rotate into that early Baron coming through, of course. Cacao extremely tanky. They've got the Hyper, they've got the Callista, not to mention the Azir that will be joining them shortly. And everything just went wrong with Royal Club because they didn't expect the 3-man Gnar ultimate. it looked like Zatai, as we see the replay, was tunneling in on Name. He goes right over the back. They think Name is safe, so they can now fight. And he wanders lazily into a 3-man Gnar off a great ultimate from Rookie. And from there, in the backside, Rookie just safe behind his turret, putting out so much damage, goes deep here to pick Name up on the backside with the help of Kakao. And it was just a very well-played team fight, but split execution coming through from Royal Club.
Yeah, and it was just beautiful shot calling as well. Just the target selection coming through from IG was, we're going to kill this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and the communication was flawless coming through. And this is a team that we've spoken about before, having sort of multiple different native languages as well, and just looks like they're playing like a well-oiled unit in these team fights. And Rookie continuing to put the pressure on. 50 CS in the lead, 4-2 and 5, and I don't think we can say more about this guy's Azir. It is so frightening, and I don't know why it's not getting banned away.
Yeah, it certainly is an interesting pick to come through. Of course, we've seen the resurgence of Azir on this patch 5.6. Deals with the tanks extremely well, Atlas.
Yeah.
It's something we need to point out. If you can't burst him down, has so much self-peel with that wall, with the fact that he can knock people up with his ultimate as well. He's pushing power, very good in the mid lane, and he's at 4 items at this point. Really one more effective item, 5 if you put boots in there. Looking extremely scary at only the 30-minute mark. And Kid, he's now finished off that Hurricane. Went for a very gold-efficient build with the Last Whisper beforehand. And they look like they're ready to start pushing into the base.
Yeah, and it allowed him to deal with Cola here as well, because that Last Whisper able to eat through that Frozen Heart there at the same time. And when there's doubles on his Hourglass, why not build it a little bit earlier? As IG, they're going to be able to take down this mid lane inhibitor turret. Korn in a lot of trouble. The pool is available there as well. He's getting a lot of health back, but there's Rookie with the golden bird in the middle of the team. Kitties gets Fates called towards the end there, tries to hold on to this one as Rookie's going to fall down. Name picks up the kill. Kakao getting knocked up. Name still alive somehow, picks up a double as Korn using the bait skates to perfection, and is going to die in the end as Kid able to secure that one. And Cola,
the tide jumps the wall into the base.
Yeah, the Hyperproc's going to help slow him down a little bit, but looks like in the end Royal Club are going to lose out on that fight, but it is going to be a 2-for-3 with IG able to take down this inhibitor.
Yeah, so Royal Club win the fight, but still lose the inhibitor, so the base is wide open. You have to say overall successful mission for IG. That was just, I don't know, a little bit of an early Zhonya's Hourglass coming through, then Rookie went in without it and got condemned against the wall and destroyed. That was a lot of the consistent damage with the zoning that was coming through from Sion. Let's take another look at it. So Insect comes in, Korn gets a very good pull, and Rookie right here gets a good ultimate, but the immediate Zhonya's at the same time of Kitties, maybe not trusting his support. Afterwards he goes over the top and right here gets condemned and blown up. Name with some great mechanics on the back line. You can see Zero just zoning with the cannon, making sure that he's being as annoying as possible, I think is fair to say. Eventually Korn does fall down, but they're not able to grab anything else but the inhibitor.
Yep, and they at least do get that inhibitor, but Royal Club, they are going to get caught here as well. Zhonya's Hourglass immediately going to be popped here by Zero, who is most definitely dead. Kakao picks up that one. A house going to be thrown in celebration there by Zatai, and they're going to be able to take down yet another blue buff.
Yeah, they've had a complete monopoly over the blue buff since early game, and IG, they're going to be able to control this bottom side of the jungle even further, now pushing up the lane with Kid. Blank goes for the steal, doesn't get it. Now he's back in the team.
Yeah, there's the explosive cast to come through, the Cataclysm as well. Emperor's Divide just throws everyone everywhere. I have no idea where these champions are going as Blank so incredibly low. Rookie hanging out against the wall, manages to block the condemn damage, but look at these Sand Soldiers managing to tear apart the members of Royal Club. Blank so incredibly low. Zero just respawning this inner turret. It's going to fall down 7-2 now, and a 10,000 gold lead.
Yeah, and no summoner spells available for that skirmish, so neither team really happy to fight. On the side of Royal Club, you can see the flashes just coming back off cooldown. 30 seconds later, they might be willing to tank it because it was their tanky Jarvan who got ulted back in the team, but not able to get anything done.
A little bit unfortunate there for Royal Club. Of course, they do scale beautifully into this game, but the only problem with that is the fact that IG have an Azir and a Kalista who also do incredible things in the late game.
Not to mention Gragas, who's just so much more frustrating to deal with than Jarvan. Jarvan's flag and drag combo, very good initial CC. But Gragas in persistent teamfights, especially with this 40% CDR build that Kakal's going, has a 4-second E and a 4-second W. So he's got all the percentage health damage coming through, all the knock-up and slows coming from his E and his Q. It's just a very annoying jungler.
He certainly is, especially when there's 3 people trying to take down the Rift Scuttler and he just walks in and smites it away. Which is just incredibly rude. As being caught here now, being protected by IG. They want to pick up their own one. There's the Cataclysm coming through. Doesn't lock down anyone here as the teleport to come down from the Zatai. Cola looking to make something happen. Zero with a nice Zonya's there as well. Everyone going gold in this fight as there's the slicing Maelstrom. Kitties gets destroyed. Name, though, going to fall down on the backside, trying to zone out some members. Rookie, Hemo plagues on him, but he's not dead just yet. Korn going to use his Zonyas now as Kakao able to get some work done. Rookie from over the side here as well, but Korn in that pool able to do some work until Kakao takes him out, and Blank now in complete and utter disarray. That was, I believe, a little bit of a save move coming through there as the Wallop not going to find him as well, but Rookie from the backside going to be able to pick that kill up, and that's a 1 for 4 so far with Zero just respawning.
Yeah, it certainly was, and we saw Rookie on the backside of that fight, had the Vlad ultimate on him, as well as 2 tanks chasing him, but the persistent damage coming through, all of the cooldowns, the mobility of Azir just meant that he was untouchable, honestly, and looks like he might be looking for a sneaky 1v1 onto Zero. No, respects the cannon. And after what was a great early game from the Royal Club bottom lane, Name, he's looked good in teamfights, but really hasn't been able to get as much done. Kid on the other side of the rift, he's now 5-1-6 out of nowhere.
Yeah, no problem there at all. He does have the QSS available. He also has a Bilgewater Cutlass build up on top of the fact that he already had 3 damage items. This Kalista definitely doing some work. Still 40 CS behind, but he doesn't mind. He's picking up all this global gold from the turrets, all these kills in these team fights, and it seems like Royal Club, what they're doing is just practicing different strategies. It's like, okay, let's peel for Name, see how that one goes. Okay, we got aced, and that was really, really bad. Now let's just dive into their backline and try and kill Rookie, and then Name just gets destroyed and they have no damage.
Yeah, and if we've seen anything throughout the entirety of this season, the dive Rookie strat does not work. You really have to deal with Zatai and Kakao because they are very good at being able to get in there and disrupt the backline. We'll see exactly where IG want to move after this. Kakao apparently wants to just throw a house into the creeps.
Yeah, Zatai didn't really quite manage to do that correctly, did he? He is wearing that Banshee's Veil like a blouse, though, in Mega Knight form, which is quite adorable. This inhibitor is going to be taken down for the second time.
The flank is there out of Vladimir. No, deciding not to go for it.
Oh, actually, there's the Cataclysm to come through. Rookie immediately goes gold to Zero, not quite getting anyone in his ultimate. Hemoplague going to many members as Rookie in a lot of trouble in that backside. Is going to fall down there as Kid trying to kite around. Decimating Smash, not going to find him. Blank going down very low. Cola not taking any damage here at all, and Name still alive there on the backside, but Kid going to take down Cola, and my god, the damage as IG just tearing apart the members of Sawan Royal Club, and that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, such a good team fight coming through will probably be the game, and that was just miscommunication. Korn had left positioning in that brush to join the base again when the go button was hit, and Royal Club, they look like they're shaken up. They lose a game in 36 minutes, and it looked like they were in the driver's seat.
Well, they certainly were in that top lane. Name having a brilliant early game, but Rookie, the turret dead at 10 minutes, stayed 50 CS up. This guy is an absolute beast in that mid lane, and Korn is no slouch. Rookie's just really, really good.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be the case, and Rookie coming through. I still think he has the best laning phase out of any mid laner in the league. His team fights, he was on point this game, got caught out of position a couple of times, does tend to go over aggressive, but definitely trying to drag IG through this one. Now, clearly in that 5th position. Yeah. If they're able to win this one, they will join Vici for equal 4th.
We shall see exactly what happens here, of course, because IG, we'll see whether they actually want to move ahead, whether this is going to be a game to try out new things coming through with the next one. But Starhorn Royal Club, they definitely need a victory, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. We're going to have Game 2 between Starhorn Royal Club and Invictus Gaming coming up very soon. gentlemen, to our English coverage of the Chinese LPL. We're right in the middle of our third matchup of the evening of our final week. Week 11 here between Invictus Gaming and Starhorn Royal Club. And despite a nice early start here for Royal Club, Invictus Gaming just out-team fought them again and again.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it was all led by their mid laner rookie. What a game put on from his Azir. Once again, they picked Vlad into it. That seems to be the counter pick. A lot of LPL lineups are going against IG, and it's just not working out.
Yeah, and I find it's a little bit like madness, isn't it? You just, okay, it didn't work last time, it didn't work the time before that, it's surely about to work now. It's sort of like, okay, if we make this mistake, let's just keep making it and see whether it works out differently next time.
Yeah, but of course, different Vlads coming through, and rookies just passed them all off. One after the other. Another 10-minute mid lane turret really did set the tone for the rest of the game. Have to give credit to the bottom lane out of Royal Club, who were in the top lane. They played the Kennen Vayne lane, and they did it extremely well. They were able to get ahead. Zero looked great. His initiations were a little bit early at times in the team fighting stage, but at least in lane, they did a very good job.
Yeah, and Zero managing to create a lot of pressure there in that top side of the map, of course, where they were lane swapped into, and managing to zone out the Kalista Janna for quite some time. But Kid and Kitties they came into these team fights, and as soon as Rookie was there peeling for the Kalista, the help from Zatai was there as well. I mean, despite that one team fight, had a great Nah game there as well. Able just to allow this Kalista to get all the work done, jumping around as there were monsoons going off, explosive casts. Would have been like a war zone where Kalista was just like, okay, I don't even mind, because none of this is coming from the enemy team.
Yeah, exactly right. The Fates call, there was Nas, there was explosive casts, monsoons, hurricanes. There was soldiers that made out of sand.
I know, it was like back in Nam, wasn't it? Something like that. Ridiculous
flashbacks,
stuff.
Atlas.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, Spawn. Will you be okay?
I hope so.
I certainly do too.
And we see the big fans coming through. LeBlanc Azir finally banned away, as well as that Sejuani on the side of Starhorn Royal Club. Lulu and Maokai are the two bans this time around for IG. We'll see what else they decide to ban. They might actually just let it fall through.
Yeah, they are taking quite some time here, waiting to work out what they want to take away. Of course, Kalista is available, but Rek'Sai going to be taken off the board. Blank not going to be playing that one, and Royal Club looking to take the same route here. The Graggle, the Grungle. Graggle? Graggle was bad. That was not something that's going to stick. The Grungle, though, going to be locked in here for Royal Club.
Yeah, so this time being picked up by Blank, of course. Cacao playing it in the first game. Blank was on that Jarvan.
Could be Zero. That guy plays anything as support.
Could be. You were correct.
We'll see.
Could be Korn as well.
That is true.
Won't be, but it could.
I see what you're doing. IG, though, Zatai thinking about a Nah, or Cacao's thinking about it Nah, not entirely sure. Having a bit of a giggle about it there as well, as IG thinking about what they want to lock in next to answer this one. Back to the Udyr here as well, as Kid's going to have his Kalista locked in, and Cacao, there's no seconds left, and this could be an Udyr.
Yeah, it certainly looks to be the Udyr. We've seen the rise in popularity with the Cinderhulk. Clears extremely quickly, and we're talking about counter jungling. No one does it better right now than a Udyr. Of course, has a little bit more dueling potential than the Nunu. Is kind of what Nunu has in securing buffs. That's his strengths, as well as his counter jungling. Udyr just has the straight up, I want to fight you.
Yeah. If you come anywhere near the camp I'm trying to take, I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you. Or try to kill you. And then run really quickly away if I can't.
Yeah, well, that seems to make sense there as well. But the answer from Royal Club is going to be Zero on his Thresh. And Blank is going to lock away that Hecarim for the top lane. Doesn't look like Teleport Smite just yet, as that Ignite Teleport has been locked away for Cola so far. But that could all change as we move into this one.
Yeah, it certainly could. I think it depends on how mobile the AD carry is from Kid that comes through. We also see the Nah and a potential Annie coming through here from Kiddies. And of course, they have seen the AD. It's Kalista.
Yep. Hanging out there in the first line of picks.
There's actually the supporterless coming through from Kiddies here to match some of the hooking pressure that will come out of Zero.
Yeah, hook for an anchor there being the trade. Of course, the anchor much larger. You can understand why Kiddies is going to answer with that one. But
so I was expecting a Kalista to come through here, but because of the way the Nautilus CC works, very hard to run Kalista into this
it's also the fact that Kalista's already been picked up by IG.
Sorry, Jinx.
That's the guy. But Does Cogmore suffer from the same problem?
Yeah, exactly the same problem. The immobile not able to get over terrain. The only real way to escape Nautilus is to get over a wall.
Yeah.
Get over a ridge, something where you still have the ability to hit from the backside, and it is the Jinx that comes through. So a very brave pickup coming through from Name. He's shown that he's willing to run this AD against anything whatsoever. Very good pickup, but it just is a little bit dangerous. Vladimir also locked in on Korn. Wasn't very impressed with the last performance, but no Azir available. But it will be the Rise in the mid lane picked up.
Yeah, and a bit of flavor coming through from his friend Dade there in the mid lane. Of course, haven't seen it so far, but seeing it sitting on the ban list, of course, meaning that he is definitely back. And if Dade's able to pick him up, we know that Rise can certainly do some incredible things. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you have seen the recent changes to come through, hasn't happened just yet, of course, but Rise up against this Vlad. And how does that generally work? Because it's been a while since we've seen that matchup.
Yeah, very scaling lane, not very much lane pressure out of either of them. They're just looking to beef up, and we'll go through the lineups. It is Hecarim versus Naya in the top lane. Colin needs to look to get aggressive.
Yeah, and Blank is going to be taking the Grungle this time into Kakao, who's decided to pick up the Udyr into it. We'll see how that one goes as the Vladimir and Rise matchup that we were talking about before. Now on your screen, we'll see whether Rookie can still have a fantastic performance there. Name picks up the Jinx into the Kalista with the range advantage versus the mobility advantage. We'll see exactly what happens. And the two hooks in the bottom lane, the Anchor and the Hook.
Yeah, so Hook City of a different variety coming through in the bottom lane. And if anyone knows how to play against Rise, it must be said it would probably be Korn, a very good Rise player in his own right. Actually has a win in the last 4 games coming through on that particular champion. So I'm really interested to see how this one works out, because Royal Club, they have a lot of experience with it.
Oh, yeah, and they certainly do, and they know exactly what it's capable of. We'll see whether they actually have the tools in order to deal with that Rise in the mid lane, because, of course, you have to think, probably not going to be pushing down a turret in 10 minutes as Rise.
No, definitely won't be. We'll have to see how the lane plays out.
Yeah, we will as we hop onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for our second matchup between Starhorn Royal Club and Invictus Gaming. Of course, IG taking the first one pretty handily. And Blank now checking towards this top side. It's a dangerous part of the map if you're watching our first matchup here tonight. But not going to yield any results this time, and Blank able to get that ward down. Korn hanging out by his mid lane turret. And the lane swap looks to have already been instigated here by our IG members.
Yeah, so it looks like they will be on the top side of the map, not looking for the 2v2 this time around. Hecarim looking to pick up a camp. He hasn't picked up any other items apart from the flask, because that means he wants the 300 gold cloth armor to come through. And we see a potential late invade coming here through from Zetai as well as Kakao as they go for it.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Of course, no one towards this top side. I believe that they are going to be seen by this ward here as well. So they see 4 members towards that blue buff. So probably going to be a steal, but some vertical jungling just to result from it.
Yeah, and no freeze will be secured in the top side of the map because they won't be able to get back there in time. Meanwhile, Krugs were taken down by Name and Zero, so they're not going to be able to get any, I guess, advantages from the freeze either, but they will have a quicker level 2 and maybe the ability to push turrets a lot quicker. Because, of course, it is a Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx does tend to eat these turrets pretty quickly. Kola able to take down these Raptors here on his own. That was the fastest full clear of that red side of the jungle I think I've ever witnessed, as 4 members are going to be able to take those 3 camps down very quickly. Zetai now following Kakao around here. Standard sort of lane swap mechanics coming through. The jungle follows as Rookie has taken a lot of damage from Korn.
Yeah, he certainly has, but he has those potions available, so he'll be able to eat through some cookies. He'll be fine. Of course, kids, don't try that at home. They're not as good for you as they are in-game.
Yeah, that is true, and that's why you don't buy too many cookies, ladies and gentlemen, because, of course, you know, you have too many, you run into problems. You don't have enough items, that sort of stuff. But Korn is going to get caught up there. But everything's going to be okay. And you mentioned the fact that this is probably going to be a farm lane, and I should probably stop talking about every ability that goes off, because they're going to be throwing stuff at each other over and over again.
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's going to be very back and forward, because the harass that comes out of Vlad probably just as good as that out of Rise. And honestly, it's going to be a very low interaction lane. Expect maybe a 4.5 minute back to come through from Rookie just to get an early tier, because as I said, kill potential very low. If he can get this lane to reverse, wouldn't be surprised to see him go shop.
Yeah, but the fast push is on here on the bottom side. Name, with that Gatling gun, able just to make sure that this turret kills as many creeps as possible before taking this one down. It's going to be a 4-minute outer turret, and it's been a long time since we've seen a turret be taken down this quickly in any league, but it's going to be perfectly done here as well with the wave pushing back towards Royal Club as that global gold already helping out the Starhorn members.
Yeah, and you see the opposite in the top side of the map, a complete freeze coming through. If they rotate Name quick enough, he might just be able to run in there, shove that one in with his boots to pick up.
My goodness, Berserker's Greaves already.
Yeah, well, Berserker's Greaves, once again, very cost-efficient buy. The thrift shopping, once again, coming out very big.
This is the thing. Always trust Name. I'm learning. If I go back and I've got 1,000 gold, I'm buying boots too. That is just what I'm going to be doing from now on. Is a little bit of a gank to come through from Kitties, just looking for a dredge line on his way in.
Got both summoner spells.
My goodness, that is definitely the power of Nautilus. Having CC on more than 4 abilities is pretty silly.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Oh, actually, his W doesn't have any. My bad. Unfortunate, of course. That would probably be a little bit broken, but Zero is going to land the Death Sentence here onto Kitties. The flayback at the same time as the Chompers not going to quite find the Nautilus. Riptide not going to find Jinx, though, and he does make it to that brush there as well. Zatai is actually coming towards his top side as Kid eats a rocket.
But while this is all going on, Zatai, he pushed out as the back comes through from Rookie, so a little bit later, but he will be able to go back, grab that tier. Also has enough for another Mana Crystal. Hecarim, he's got a very deep freeze in that bottom lane and has picked up a sizable CS advantage, not to mention all the experience that's coming across as well. That's horrible news. Zatai actually had to burn his teleport to get down there. And he's in real danger because this might put Kohler a couple of levels ahead, and we've seen what Hecarim can do when he's ahead.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and this is a champion that you want to keep down. This is a champion that you want to punish in this laning phase, not provide with a perfect lane to freeze here as well, as he's able to use that Rampage to clear out a lot of these creeps under the turret as Rookie heading back towards this mid lane. Of course, Vlad going to head back, pick up that Revolver. Pretty standard stuff. Both of these mid laners pretty reliant on that first item, the tier coming through here for Rookie with that Sapphire Crystal going towards the Catalyst, you have to think, and that Revolver coming through as well. But yeah, Kohler, 28-7 as far as that farm is concerned, is massive here for the Hecarim.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you can see they're trying to make a pillow out of a jacket. No easy task.
Denim isn't that comfortable, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we've just found out here today. He's going to get dredge line. That was beautiful work, but the Dark Passages from Zero.
But you
so
see
beautiful.
how much damage that comes through from the Nautilus passive coupled with that passive on the Sentinel.
Yeah.
Just a lot of percentage health damage coming through there. So was nicely done. Chunking out a Jinx is always going to be a good thing. And we see that they're not finished.
Actually, Kitty's doing a lot of work here to Zero as well, who's trying to peel for this Jinx. Not going to be stunned up just yet here by Kitties, but the Ignite's been put down, forcing the flash out of Zero as Name trying to get some damage back here as well. But this is a very frightening lane to go up against coming out of IG.
And this is the thing about Nautilus. He's just so
big,
gosh damn tanky.
Especially with that Titan's Wrath. With that W up, does so much extra damage, and you also just don't want to hit him. You're like, oh, he's got a shield. What's the point? But he just does so much work. Nice dodge out of the way of the Pierce there by Name. And Zero is able to get back into this lane as well. Does still have, actually out of consumables completely here. So the rest of the damage is going to stick as Korn able to pick up a blue buff here. And you have to think that's probably more just to keep up with that experience level in that mid lane.
CDR is just so important of Vladimir and wants to be able to shove out the lane as quick as possible. So I understand exactly why that one's going over.
I wouldn't have got that in solo queue, I don't reckon.
I don't think you would have in solo queue either. But then again, I can't get a blue buff of Xerath in solo queue, so...
That is a very good point. As Rookie very low on mana, he's going to go and pick up his own blue buff here that Cacao is going to provide for him. Of course, this Udyr has been power farming this jungle, trying to get to that Cinder Hulk as quickly as possible. Just That's what Udyr does. He kills monsters.
This is what Kakao does on a lot of junglers as well. If he feels the lanes are going neutral, he tries to make himself a threat as much as possible and look for him to just roam around, clear out as much vision as he can and try and get busy. As we see Rookie, he's trying to shove out now that he's got that blue buff, keep the tiers stacking, and at the same time, he's weaving in some nice harass. Once again, winning out this lane quite handily.
Yeah, he's got more than a 10 CS advantage here, like 14 at this stage, and Korn really struggling. Misses another caster creep as Royal Club look to try and put some pressure here on this Ryze, this is a Ignite Ryze as well. We often see these Ryzes pick up a whole lot of defensive summoners. Oh my goodness, that Fate's Call was stunning.
It came a little bit late. The damage went through.
Oh, right. And well, it didn't kill him. So it looked more fancy.
So it was a completely wasted Fate's Call is what you're saying.
I don't know. It was just nice to grab him. It's like, I'm here for you. It's okay. Despite whether or not it was worth it.
Hold me, Callista. I'm scared.
Oh, my goodness. Thank goodness I didn't start singing Elton John. Korn able to farm up underneath this turret, though, relatively effectively. I think they're waiting for me to sing. I'm not going to do it.
I'm waiting for you.
No. But as we move towards this one, of course, my goodness. Now we're going to be backing in that top lane, and Gragas just traversing this map as well. Haven't seen too much out of Blank's Grungle so far this game.
Yeah, and that's a little bit disappointing because you would think with all the early CC that is available on Gragas's kit, could be able to couple up with some of these CC-less lanes. Or maybe even the heavy CC lane in the top, but across the board, every lane right now in IG's favor.
Yeah, and I mean, Name has managed to go back and pick up that BF sword. Does have some potions there as well. Rookie's going to find Blank here. There's the explosive cast to come through as Korn was going to get turned around upon there, but Rookie flashes over the wall, answering flash by Korn. The Ignite not going to be enough, and that's first blood for the Vladimir. That's going to turn this lane exactly where Royal Club wanted.
Yeah, so he's able to grab the first blood, maybe even more importantly, able to get some damage down on the turret. And you see the focus coming through there.
My goodness, Korn he's a man on a mission right now.
Kakao runs through. The champions are like, oh no, he might attack us. No, just wants the minion waves. True Udyr fashion.
Yeah, the box is going to come through here as well. There's the depth charge. Immediately gets the ultimate out. Is the Dark Passage going to be available there from Zero as well? Mostly just for the shield. And Kid, he's not really worried about the champions. He just wants to take down the creeps that were getting smacked on by the non-existent turret. Korn going to clear out this wave here as well. Has evened up that CS, but Name's going to fall down on the top side. Not sure why Royal Club went back in on that one. Zero, you are most definitely dead, and a double kill for Kid. How that happened, I have no idea, because Royal Club, they got out. Aren't they supposed to just back there?
Yeah, they certainly look like that's what they should have done. It might even mean a turret coming across here for IG. That one already being prepped quite far. And we saw how well Kid was able to do when he was behind last game. Yeah. Just wait for the team fight, start taking over. This time coming out of lane with a 2-0-0, not to mention getting the early turret advantage over Name. It's going to spell all kinds of bad things. Of course, Jinx will scale superbly into the late game, but we've seen Kid, apparently he just doesn't care that the build isn't fantastic anymore, still wants to go for it.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you said about Kakao's going to find people in the jungle and then kill them. Of course, as soon as Zero sort of came around there, Rookie now under a lot more pressure, and my goodness, Korn, you got a bit of damage now.
Yeah, it certainly does. So Korn, he's able to start winning this lane after the first item pickup. Of course, Ryze just needs to continue scaling. Can keep is a mixture between keep and continuing, but not a word.
I do like it, though. It's like you're making sure that we get everything out of what you're trying to say.
So, yeah, he's looking to be non-interactive for another 10-15 minutes until that roller has been stacked up. But Zatai,
here's the 1v1 going down in the bottom lane. Zatai just saying, okay, I've done my buttons now, and there's not really much more I can offer you there. Cola, and we'll just head back. Oh, goodness me. But
I like to think that every now and again, Zatai just gets sick of being a tanky top laner. You can see it in the pickaxe build. And just decides he's going to try and kill someone even though he can't.
Oh, Dark Passage going to come out there. Kakao, the Chompers are going to do some work, but Zatai has teleported in through the backside, but doesn't have Mega Gnar. We saw Mega Gnar there about a second ago, so not going to have that for the next little while. And It did get the heal out from Name. Not entirely sure whether that was even necessary.
And this is how much investment they put on controlling the blue buff of the opposition. They're willing to burn a teleport, a 5-minute cooldown, without a Gnar ultimate to just secure control over the top side of the jungle. And they were able to pick it up, so you got to give them credit. That goes over to the Udyr jungle, who is double the CS of Gragas. 0, 0, and 0, but just destroying some creeps.
Yeah, he's 15 CS behind the top laners, is Kakao. And these aren't lane swap top laners. This is top laners that have been duking it out in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it certainly is. So we see Royal Club off the back of that, looking to pick up the Dragon for themselves, of course, in the top lane. Zatai not having the teleport available. We saw that one already burnt, so they'll be able to grab that. Is a consolation prize at this stage because you feel the map is starting to slip out of their control. They regained some composure with some good ganks mid lane, but it is scary throughout the rest because Kakao, he's just going to continue to get tanky, and there really is a timer on just how tanky this lineup's going to be. I mean, Kalista, the only real killable person, you have a Nautilus. He's going to be an absolute beast late game. You have an Udyr, you have, for some reason, a pickaxe Gnar. Not to mention the Rise.
It's the Frozen Mallet Gnar, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the best build.
I honestly think it is.
What, you think it's the best build, or you think it's a Frozen Mallet?
No, I think it's a Frozen Mallet.
Okay,
I definitely do not think it's the best build.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like a Jake Spawn Tiberi build.
Hasn't got a... It's the best build.
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like a Jake Spawn Tiberi build.
Hasn't got a... That's bad news for Royal Club. They used more. They used a teleport.
Oh, goodness gracious. But Zero and Blank hanging out. Oh, Descent's almost landing onto Kakao, but not going to quite find it.
The next level mind game's actually coming out. He didn't juke at all, and that's why it missed. Zero throwing that one a little bit to the right, but Kakao, he's going to be completely fine. I'm interested to see how he gets onto this lineup. We've mentioned the disruption already, the Gragas, not to mention the fact that there is a Thresh on the opposition lineup. It's going to be hard for Kakao to get in. Might just have to look to peel for Kid. But he's already just so tanky. Nearly finished up. Tanky, nearly finished up. That comes out of IG, and IG, they just look like they have better understanding of what parts of the map they should be positioned around. They're able to grab understanding of what parts of the map they should be positioned around. They're able to grab that Bloodthirster. Of course, last game he sat on the recurve bow and went for that last whisper to make sure he could shred through these tanky members, but not going to be needed this time. And you can say the same thing about Name. He doesn't really need to go for a last whisper right now. There's a frozen mallet on the top lane instead of a Randuin's Omen, and maybe that's because of... I don't know what that's because of.
It's because of Zatai. Just Zatai in general. Just Zatai things, Spawn. That's what he wants to do, and that's what he's going to do. Actually decides that he wants the Spectre's Cowl as the next option here, as Kakao is on the duty as far as picking up that Frozen Heart is concerned by the looks of things, unless that's going to be the Iceborne Gauntlet, but I'm not entirely sure that's going to be the thing. Full tank Udyr does seem to be just ridiculously hard to deal with.
Cooldown reduction is just such a strong stat on Udyr because he's able to get through all of those stances even quicker, increases his effective health pool. And he's gone into 3 members and will mosey out.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to, because Rookie coming around here as well. Oh, Kitty's coming in through the backside. Kid looking for something here at the same time. But Zero, he's got a lot of attention. Kitty's going to get Fates called out of this one at the same time as Kakao finds a Korn, but he does have the pull available. Going to flash afterwards as well as Blank. Going to body slam his way out, but Rookie picks up the kill. Korn does have the Zhonya's Hourglass available, but it may not save his life here as Kid with a lot of damage. Doesn't have the Ren. Super Mega Death Rocket sails on by, and Rookie picks up the kill.
And Kakao just takes no damage whatsoever. Meanwhile, Zatai gets the 1v1.
That is the power of a Frozen Mallet. Boom, right there, legitimized. Beautiful stuff. Nailed it, Zatai. I believe in you and your build path choices. I've lost my color caster, ladies and gentlemen.
So they'll be able to pick up a turret and a red buff for it. They might even be able to rotate it to a dragon. Well, I'm going to say Zatai might have lived with a little bit more health if he had a Randuin's.
But that's a Trinity Force Hecarim. He should be very, very strong. He died with his Igniter.
Certainly did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to argue here. As the dragon is going to fall down for IG. That's their first of the game, evening out that particular objective. 6,000 gold, now the lead at the 21-minute mark. That is quite sizable here. And a little bit dangerous, but Name, late game insurance factor of that Jinx, always going to be there, but is it going to be there against the likes of Kalista, Rise, Kakao on the Udyr? Who's just going to get more and more difficult to deal with. Gnar as well as Nautilus, who in his own right is going to become unkillable.
I honestly, oh, he got it.
He got it. Too easy. He had Smite. Like, just smite it, dude. Besides, he doesn't want to. And Pink Ward going to go down here as well, as Zatai just has the run of the map. The intimidation factor of the Frozen Mallet just a little bit too much for the Star and Royal Club lineup to deal with.
So late game, Kalista versus Jinx. Jinx is a much better late game scaling carry, of course. As soon as she gets those 3-4 items, just turns into an absolute monster. But as you mentioned, there's just such a tanky lineup coming through from IG. Even without a correct item build, Zatai will eventually get tanky when he picks up some armor.
The correct item build.
And we're actually seeing, if we go through exactly what Udyr is doing, he's maxing Phoenix, he's equally pointing the bear stance and the turtle stance afterwards. Nothing in Tiger so far.
Really? I thought that was 5 points in total. What? Am I getting that wrong?
I think you were getting it wrong, but let's have a look.
No, it's Turtle Max second by the looks of things.
Yeah, I think it's Turtle and Bear second.
Interesting. Kakao going to get zapped. Ladies and gentlemen, he did get hit by that zap. Don't be fooled, as Blank is going to come in through that backside. Rookie is right in the back line now. Not exactly where he wants to be, as Name picks up that kill now. Death sentence onto Kid, and There are the Chompers at the same time. Super Mega Deathrock on a full health target. Not exactly what you want. Cacao trying to tank up as best he can as Kiddies falls down in the backside. Cola finally going to fall as well as Kid. Able to use that Marshall poise to get himself to safety. Korn just being untargetable and annoying in that front line, but will not have the pull available in time as Zatai and Kid are ruling this fight. The triple kill for the Mini-Na, and Kid able to destroy this turret. And man, Zatai, what? Just ulted a creep wave. No worries.
Oh, please have a thought for solo queue, Zatai.
Oh, that was ridiculous. Kid able to clear out this wave. Oh, this better be a replay of just the nah. No, it's not.
And it's just Rookie getting caught out by a great explosive cast. He ends up going down, trades Gragas' life, but look how tanky Cacao is in this. He's in the middle of it. He's taking turret shots as well. Cola, he flies into the team fight, does a lot of damage to Kiddies, but Cacao, he's still tanking the whole team at this point, gets crit there, and does eventually fall down. But it was just all about how strong Zatai as well as Kid were. Kid able to take out Name. Zatai manages to pick up Vladimir as well, and he picks up the double off the backside.
Yep, and then transforms to Mega Na and Na's a creep wave. It was beautiful stuff.
Only wearing half of his jacket.
Yep, that's all you need. That's all you need to carry a game.
His left arm is colder than his right arm.
Oh, if only I was playing Trinity, that would have been beautiful. Absolutely beautiful as Kiddy's going to clear out some wards. Cacao going to take down the Rift Scuttler here as well. 4-0-1 for the Frozen Mallet Na here in the top lane. Beautiful stuff. Even on CS here with Cola, who's only going to get more and more difficult to deal with. But we do have a 3-item Kid on Kalista, who's 5-0-6, the unsung hero on this Kalista, just able to get everything. I've been trying to talk about it.
You just keep taking it back to the nah.
Yeah, I do apologize. It's a little bit ridiculous, but Rookie has been doing some work here as well.
Hasn't got the upgraded sweeper yet, so won't get the vision ward placed there.
Unfortunate. And IG looking to put some pressure around this Baron area. They do have some barrels. Blank able to get some vision down here as Zero's trying to do his best to answer this vision war. Cacao
doesn't really care about champions at this point.
Doesn't really care about much, I don't think. Does almost have that Frozen Heart completed. The combined cost of that one not going to be too much longer as the 1-1 and 8. Udyr is just doing whatever he wants this game. Royal Club pushing up this mid wave, looking a little bit like they don't quite know what their next move is really going to be as Kid and Cacao just hitting the Baron because they feel like it. Zero has discovered them there.
Well, Cacao just takes no damage, so whenever they can, they're just going to jump in there, try and sneak it away, and they will repeatedly do it. Eventually, Starhorn's going to have to face check a little bit too far to stop that one going through, and that just might mean that IG have better positioning around this map. We mentioned the fact they don't really have a way to start a fight apart from a fantastic hook coming through from Nautilus, so that might be the answer. Just bait them into the Baron.
Well, we'll see whether they do go back to it. Zatai, this Banshee's Veil up here on the top side, just going to keep clearing out these minions. Cola heading back to buy, probably going to pick up that Frozen Heart on this Hecarim. We'll see whether he does have enough money as doesn't actually get found. Ooh, that was actually the scouting Super Mega Death Rocket. Going to give away the fact that Sahun Royal Club have absolutely no vision of that Baron area. They're going to continue trying to push back, but you can see Sahun Royal Club just, they feel like they have so much pressure on them.
Yeah, and they certainly do have the pressure. It's a 10,000 gold lead at only 26 minutes in. It's going to be the Baron here because Zatai, he's on the backside. Blank needs to be careful, needs to probably tank that.
He wants to. Korn coming through with a Hemo Plague here as well. Kiddy's on the backside. Cola looking for him here. There's the ultimate. Gets feared as well. Kid probably going to fall down. They trade AD carries, but the IG members able to get up and amongst it. And Blank going down very, very low. Korn with a lot of consistent damage. Zatai and Cacao are around here as well. It is going to be the Nautilus falling down. Cacao going low as Korn's going to use the pull and try and pick something up, but that's Zatai just going off in this fight. Picks up the Gragas, picks up the horse as well. Korn trying to kite around, but Rookie secures the ace.
Yeah, so they're able to get the ace for 3. In the end, not a horrible team fight for Starhorn Royal Club, but that's a very, very fed Rise now coming into this late game. He's got his Seraphs. Not to mention how big Zatai is. Somehow managed to piece together a 6-0-4. score. As we see, they just felt like they had to force here. Korn flew in and don't get me wrong, they were able to isolate Kid and get a relatively good team fight, but they just left Name to the Wolves. And Rookie, with a very impressive play over the backside, was able to pick up a kill. Had to eventually run all the way back around to try and rejoin the fight. But as we see in the bottom in live, actually, Zatai going extremely low.
Yeah, he's going very, very low. Might not actually fall down there, actually, as you see in the bottom side. Actually, oh, doesn't get the jump. A little bit awkward there. Kitty's going to take a bit of damage there as well, as Fate's Call's going to get him to safety. The Mega Gnar that could. Unable to get over that blue wall. It was almost a very cute play. Randuin's has been completed, though, as he enters the Death Chamber. That's a fair bit of extra money here for Royal Club, because, of course, that kill spree was taken down. And Zatai just very animated. Oh, I can't believe I didn't manage to flash over that wall.
We see a little bit of normalcy returning to this game. Zatai, he's 10 seconds away.